So before we move into the first presentation of today, I just wanted to briefly highlight and reflect on what we've achieved together. So in 2024, we reached an important milestone. And here I'm reflecting on what we've achieved and how we're going to be building on that momentum. At the heart of that milestone was our first national primary school data collection with SHRN. And this extended the network beyond secondary schools. And for the first time, this gave us a national picture of younger learners' health and well-being across Wales. And as you can see, the response from schools was extremely encouraging, with participation across all local authorities, over 50,000 learners. And what's really important here is that it's not just the numbers, but it's what they represent. Schools across Wales coming together to create that shared picture. And these data have since been brought together in our national report, giving us a clear understanding of primary learners' health and well-being across Wales. But what really matters is what this enables. It gives a voice and it deepens our understanding of children's everyday experiences. And it also provides evidence to support meaningful action and policy, a lot of what you'll be hearing about today. Crucially, it also allows us to track change over time, and you'll be hearing more about these benefits throughout the course of this webinar. So, looking ahead to the next phase, this webinar marks an important point for SHRN as we begin network registration ahead of our data collection in schools this autumn. And our focus is now on strengthening participation and engagement across Wales and working closely with our partners in the Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools team. And we really want to ensure that schools can register and take part with confidence, and that we can continue to ensure that this evidence helps to inform meaningful action across Wales. So on that note, I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, my colleague, Maria Bofi, who will take you through the benefits of being a part of the School Health Research Network.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm Maria Bofi, External Affairs and Knowledge Exchange Manager here at the School Health Research Network, otherwise known as SHRN. Over the next few minutes, I'll give a quick overview of what SHRN is, why primary schools take part, and how it can support you to further understand learner health and well-being. And just to say from the outset, working with SHRN isn't about adding another demand or expectation. It's designed to be supportive, ethical and flexible, and schools are encouraged to engage in it in ways that make sense for them. SHRN is a research policy practice partnership between Cardiff University, Welsh Government and Public Health Wales. We're a long-standing programme working across education and public health, and we work with schools at local, regional and national levels. We're referenced in more than 30 Welsh Government policies and strategies, including the whole school approach to mental health and wellbeing and Estin's Healthy and Happy report. The research we produce isn't abstract or detached, it's shaped directly by real school context and everyday experiences in your classrooms and communities. At the moment, over 40% of primary schools in Wales already take part, alongside almost all secondary schools in Wales. This scale matters because schools aren't doing this in isolation. The insights generated reflect a broad and trusted picture of children and young people's health and well-being across Wales. But at its core, SHRN starts with schools. So what does SHRN look like in practice? We run the School Student Health and Wellbeing Survey, an ethically improved, age-appropriate way of understanding your learners' everyday experiences. We also run the SHRN School Environmental Questionnaire, the SEQ, which looks at school policies, practices and environments that support learner health and wellbeing. Schools then receive their own confidential school-level report. These reports are designed to be clear and easy to use, not overwhelming, and they focus on patterns rather than individuals. So the journey is quite simple. Learners complete the survey, schools receive the report, and then you decide how to use it. Importantly, SHRN doesn't stop at data collection. Schools are supported by our partners, the Healthy Schools Network, to interpret and reflect on what their data shows and decide if it's useful for them. Some schools choose to act on particular themes, others use data mainly for reflection or reassurance. The aim is to work alongside you in what you already do and support your school priorities. How SHRN supports school priorities. We know when learners feel safe, supported and well, they are more likely to engage, attend school and thrive. Primary schools are in a unique position to notice early patterns around friendships, routines, sleep and emotional well-being, where extra support can make a real difference over time. SHRN helps bring those patterns into view so schools can reflect and respond in ways that feel appropriate and proportionate. For many schools, it provides reassurance and confidence that their wellbeing work is grounded in what learners are actually experiencing and telling them. Often it leads to reflection rather than urgent action, and that distinction is important. Informing policy and research, why SHRN matters beyond schools. In practice, SHRN links directly to school priorities. It aligns with healthy schools work, self-evaluation and inspection processes. It strengthens a whole school approach to health and well-being and amplifies learner voice. For example, some primary schools use their report to support a short staff discussion, focusing on one or two themes, rather than trying to do everything at once. Many schools find SHRN helpful in conversations with governors, clusters and partners because it provides clear local evidence. Others use it to support conversations with partners or to produce evidence alongside existing improvement work. There's no expectation to act on everything. Schools decide what's relevant for them. Here's a list of our key topic areas for the primary school survey. Beyond individual schools, SHRN contributes to wider understanding. Funded by Welsh Government, SHRN brings together one of the most comprehensive school health and wellbeing data sets in the UK. Primary school insights are particularly important here. They help ensure early needs and transition experiences are visible nationally, regionally and locally. It's important to emphasise this system understanding is built from school level experiences. Schools are contributors, not subjects. So why do schools take part? What's the benefit for them? Schools often give similar reasons for taking part in SHRN: to put learners at the centre, to use trusted data with confidence, to turn insight into thoughtful action, and to amplify learner voice and reduce inequalities, and of course to be part of a wider effort across Wales. Many also highlight the value of support for staff confidence and whole school improvement. Schools often say SHRN helps them sense check what they are doing and what they're seeing day to day. The value of SHRN is probably best captured by schools themselves. On this slide, you'll see reflections from 2 primary schools. These comments often talk about clarity, reassurance and confidence, not pressure or judgment. And that distinction is really important to us here at SHRN and to our Healthy School partners. Looking ahead, there are a few developments to highlight for you. For schools, you've already seen that SHRN means more accessible school-level insights, stronger support for planning and reflection over time, and continued access to events, webinars, case studies, and our popular blog. Public Health Wales are also developing a new interactive SHRN dashboard for primary schools, designed to make insights easier to use and explore, and not more complex. Alongside this, growing primary school participation will strengthen our shared learning, and secure data sharing will support local, regional and national planning. The aim here is to make insights easier to use and not to add to your workload. And of course, school input continues to shape how SHRN develops. Primary school health and wellbeing learners will soon receive direct invitation to register their interest and join the SHRN network. Taking part is voluntary, supported and designed to be manageable. We'd love your school to join the network and make use of the support and insight that SHRN offers. I'll close by saying that there's no single right way to use SHRN. Schools engage with it at their own pace in ways that make sense for them. If it feels like this could be something that supports what you're already doing, we'd really encourage you to explore taking part. If you'd like to ask questions, explore this further, or simply have a conversation, I'd be very happy to hear from you. Thank you for listening and for all the work that you do every day to support children's health and well-being. And we look forward to working with you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for clearly outlining the many benefits of being involved in the network, and we'll highlight some of those resources that are available to you at the end of today's webinar. So next, I'm pleased to introduce my colleague Liana Angel, who will talk you through the practical details of the 2026 network registration and how your school can get involved.
Hello and welcome. My name is Liana Angel and I'm SHRN's Operations Manager. Thank you for joining today's session. I'll be guiding you through the key information, dates and timelines for the 2026 SHRN Student and School Survey for primary schools. I'll talk you through what participation looks like in practice, from registration through to completion of data collection, so you know exactly what to expect and when. This session is designed to help your school prepare smoothly and confidently for the data collection process and to make sure you understand what's required. So let's start with the key dates, as these are essential for your school's planning and coordination. Registration to join the SHRN network opens on the 8th of June. In the following weeks, we'll then invite all schools to sign up for the data collection. Registration for the autumn data collection closes on the 24th of July. This is the first step in taking part. And unfortunately, we are unable to accept any registrations after this deadline, so please be sure to register by this date. On the 7th of September, SHRN will send schools that have registered the SHRN Primary School Survey Pack. This contains all the information needed to administer the student survey and the school environment questionnaire. The pack also includes a link to a practice or dummy survey, which does not collect any data. This should be used in advance to ensure the survey link opens correctly and loads properly on school devices. On the 10th and 11th of September, Ipsos, our trusted survey contractor, will send out the live survey and dashboard links. We recommend testing these links as soon as they are received to ensure everything is working as expected ahead of data collection. Data collection runs from the 14th of September through to the 18th of December. We encourage schools to schedule their data collection as early as possible to avoid pressure later in the term. The School Environment Questionnaire, or SEQ, must be completed by a member of the senior leadership team. This is because the SEQ focuses on whole school policy and practice rather than individual classroom experiences. It's therefore important that senior leaders are aware of the SEQ requirements and deadlines from the outset. So, registration is a two-step process. Step 1 is network registration, which opens on the 8th of June. This helps us plan and does not commit your school to taking part in data collection. Step 2 follows a few weeks later. At this point, we'll send an email invitation to all mainstream primary schools across Wales to take part in data collection, and schools can then choose whether to sign up. Step 2 must be completed by the 24th of July. So just to note, emails will either go to your school inbox or to your previous lead contact. If that lead has changed, please do drop us a quick email so we can update our records and make sure everything goes to the right person. For newly registered schools, we will use the contact email provided. By the 24th of July, there are 3 key actions every school must complete. First, appoint a survey lead. This person will coordinate the survey within your school and act as the main point of contact. Second, choose your survey start date in the autumn term. This date triggers automated reminders and support communications, so it's important to select a realistic starting point. We strongly recommend starting early to avoid delays and compressed timelines later in the term. And third, schedule the distribution of the parent and carer letter. This must be sent at least 2 weeks before learners complete the survey. This slide outlines the planned data collection period. Your school will receive the school survey pack on the 7th of September, followed by survey and dashboard links on the 10th and 11th. The survey pack will include everything you need to run both the student survey and the school environment questionnaire. Once you receive the links, we recommend testing them early to make sure everything works within your school system, for example with firewall settings. Data collection will then run from the 14th of September through to the 18th of December, given a good window for completion. This means the SEQ can be completed from day 1 on the 14th of September by a member of the senior leadership team. The earliest date your school can run the student survey is September the 21st, following the 2-week parent opt-out period. Although data collection runs through to December the 18th, we encourage schools to schedule data collection earlier in the term where possible. So to recap, here's what your school needs to do next. Look out for the network registration link on the 8th of June. Respond to the data collection invitation by the 24th of July. Let us know if you have a new health and wellbeing lead. These steps will ensure you're ready for the 2026 survey, and please keep an eye on your inbox for further updates and joining details. Guidance is provided at every stage and support is available throughout the process to help ensure participation runs smoothly. For further information or support, please email the SHRN team or visit our website, and the details are on this slide. Thank you for your time and for your support with this important work.
Thank you so much, Leanna. That was really helpful in setting out all of the key dates and the practical steps for getting involved. So as a reminder, this will be available online from next week. So all of the details will be available to access. But our most important reminder is to keep an eye out for an email to all schools on Monday to register for the network. So now I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, Danielle Thomas, a Year 6 teacher and wellbeing lead at Abbey Primary School in Neath Talbot. So we've had the opportunity to work closely with Danielle to develop a SHRN school success story, which is now available on our website. We'd encourage you to take a look after the session. Danielle's journey with SHRN is a fantastic example of how school level data can support schools to move from insight to meaningful action. And today, Danielle will share their experience, offering insight into how SHRN data has helped the school to initiate, shape, and deliver a learner-led project focused on digital well-being.
And welcome. My name is Danielle Thomas and I am a Year 6 teacher and wellbeing lead at Abbey Primary School. The purpose of this presentation is to share how Abbey Primary School effectively embeds SHRN data into its planning, aligning practice with the principles of the curriculum for Wales. By using evidence to inform decision making, we have strengthened our whole school approach to emotional and mental well-being and fostered a culture where data drives meaningful action and learners' voices lead positive change. Abbey Primary has worked very closely with SHRN to develop a case study that highlights its well-being journey and the impact of using SHRN data. This case study is now a valuable resource for demonstrating the school's commitment to improving learners' health and well-being through evidence-based approaches. Abbey Primary School is located in East Talbot and serves approximately 450 pupils aged between 3 and 11 years. This includes 62 nursery children who attend on a part-time basis. Our school has an early years assessment centre. With a high staff to pupil ratio, it supports children in both nursery and reception cohorts. The children have a range of needs which is supported through play and exploration in a warm, inclusive environment where every child can thrive. Our school building is a state-of-the-art new facility, officially opened on the 5th of May 2023. Prior to this, the school was split across 3 separate sites, so this new building has brought our whole community together under one roof. Our school's ethos is shown in our motto: work together, play together, grow together. It reflects our focus on working together, including everyone, and helping all members of our community grow. We create a safe, happy, and supportive environment where everyone feels valued. We help every child reach their full potential and support both their learning and well-being. At Abbey Primary, we encourage kindness, curiosity, and a love of learning. Participation in the School's Health Research Network primary survey has helped shape our school's health and wellbeing priorities, with the support from the Welsh Network of Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools team. We have taken part in the survey twice, first in 2022 to 2023 and again in 2024 to 2025, which is reflected in our implementation tool as shown below. SHRN provides clear, reliable data based on pupil voice. This helps us make informed decisions, supports our self-evaluation, and guides our school priorities. It also allows us to track changes over time, measure impact, and prepare effectively for inspection. A key finding from the 2024-2025 data highlighted that our Key Stage 2 pupils have higher levels of digital device ownership and earlier access to social media compared to the Wales average. This insight raised important considerations around the influence of digital environments on pupils' well-being, relationships, and decision-making. As a result, we identified digital well-being as a priority area, ensuring that our curriculum is responsive to the real-life experiences of our learners and helps them to stay safe and responsible in a digital world. Rather than simply presenting the SHRN findings, we encourage learners to interpret the data themselves. Year 6, who have greater access to devices and social media, were surprised by how their usage compared to the Wales average, which sparked curiosity and meaningful discussions. By placing learner voice at the centre, pupils explored questions such as why they spend so much time online, how apps and algorithms decide what they see, and how online activity affects their feelings and behaviour. These conversations help learners think critically about their digital experiences and understand their role within them. In Year 6, pupils explored how algorithms shape what we see online, including personalised content and adverts. They discuss who really has the power, the user or the algorithm, and thought about how this affects their well-being, choices and self-image. They also reflected on how they can use their own power in a positive way. Pupils led their own inquiry by designing and carrying out surveys across the school to explore digital habits. Year 6 collected views from pupils and staff about social media and how algorithms affect what we see online. This gave them a strong sense of ownership and helped them build their digital understanding. They shared their findings through podcasts, videos and presentations, encouraging others to behave responsibly online. At Abbey Primary School, we've already seen a real impact from this work. In Year 6, learners now have a much stronger understanding of how algorithms can shape what they see online and influence their choices both in and out of school. Pupils are taking more responsibility for their own online behaviour and have a clearer awareness of how their actions can affect others. Engagement has been high as pupils are exploring real digital issues that matter to them. Staff have noticed that learners are becoming more open to talking about how online experiences make them feel. Abbey Primary School is continuing to build on this work by embedding a clear and sustainable approach to digital well-being as part of our whole school approach to emotional and mental well-being. We will keep using SHRN data to monitor trends, track progress and guide our next steps, ensuring our approach stays evidence-based and responsive. Overall, this journey shows the power of combining SHRN data with pupil-led action. By using real data and putting learner voice at the centre, we have created meaningful learning around power and influence in digital spaces. Thank you for listening.
Da iawn yn fendigedig Abbey Primary School. I'm sure everyone on the call would say how fascinating that example was. Yes, I can see the reactions. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's great to see your implementation tool in action, and especially to hear how you've enabled learners to interpret the data themselves around their digital habits. So thank you so much. So I'm next delighted to introduce another inspiring school example, this time from Lisa Chinnock, Year 2 and 3 teacher and Head of Health and Wellbeing at Cloynapere Primary School in Rhondda Taff. We've greatly valued working with Lisa and her school to develop a SHRN School success story, which is also available on our website for you to explore after the session. Their journey highlights how SHRN data can support whole school approaches and place learner voice at the heart of decision making, particularly around healthy food and drink.
My name is Lisa Chinnock and I am the Health and Wellbeing Lead at Cloynapere Primary School in Rhondda Taff. We have worked closely with SHRN to develop a case study sharing our journey to healthy eating and well-being for learners and families. Cloynapere Primary School is a community-focused school with a strong commitment to promoting health, well-being, belonging and inclusion at the heart of everything we do. We currently have 179 children on roll, with 30.7 of our pupils eligible for free school meals. We are a founder member of the Cwm Taff Morgannwg Health Promoting Schools National Quality Award Professional Learning Community, working collaboratively with regional and local partners to strengthen our whole school approach to well-being. We have successfully renewed our third National Quality Award re-verification in May 2023, reflecting our sustained commitment to continuous improvement in health and well-being. The purpose of this presentation is to share how reliable, high-quality SHRN evidence helped us identify a genuine need within our own school community and take meaningful learner-centred action to improve healthy eating. SHRN data supports our school development plan, aligns with the curriculum for Wales, strengthens self-evaluation of whole school approach to emotional and mental well-being, provides robust evidence for inspections and enables us to monitor trends over time. Our school have engaged with the SHRN primary survey since the pilot in 2022 and again in the rollout in 2024. The invaluable support from Rachel, a Healthy Schools practitioner, helped us to interpret the data meaningfully. This was important because it allowed us to move beyond just numbers and actually think about what the data meant for our pupils in practice. One of the most valuable aspects of SHRN was the clear, independent insight it gave us into the pupils' eating habits at a school level. We found that only 35% of pupils ate fruit daily, compared to 48% across Wales, and just 29% ate vegetables daily, compared to 37% nationally. Years 3 and 4 were the lowest, at 28%, and importantly, every year group was below the Wales average. What this told us was that we weren't dealing with isolated concerns, but a whole school pattern. This really echoed what staff had already been noticing in the classroom. Things like lower energy levels, difficulties with concentration, and challenges around emotional regulation. The difference was that now we had clear evidence to back up those observations. This was a turning point for us. The SHRN data give us the confidence to take action and ensure that our next steps were rooted in evidence rather than assumption. It became a key driver in shaping our Healthy Schools work and helped us to prioritise the areas that would have the greatest impact. As highlighted in our case study, the SHRN data has been invaluable in identifying key areas for improvement, and it has directly informed and strengthened our Healthy Schools Action Plan.
We are members of the Healthy School Council and we're looking at the SHRN graphs together. Our teachers gave us time to understand what the results meant and to think about our own habits. We all agreed that healthy eating is something we need to improve. The SHRN graphs helped us see what really matters, so we could make plans based on real information, not just guesses. They also helped us have good discussions, and we quickly decided that healthy eating should be a top priority. We talked about some of the challenges we face, like not having enough time at breakfast, forgetting to bring fruit, not always knowing what snacks are healthy, and sometimes not having easy access to healthy food at home. We felt that our ideas were listened to and we had a real voice in what should happen next. We worked together as the Healthy School Council to help plan changes that would really work for our school. We made sure our ideas were meaningful and realistic so everyone could join in and benefit. Mrs. Desson organised a menu tasting session so pupils and parents could try healthy foods. Ms. Price set up a food pantry to support families. Mrs. Trinnock ensured all classes now have dedicated daily food snack time. We helped design a healthy lunchbox leaflet and have shared this during whole school assembly.
Our approach has been truly collaborative, with every part of our school community playing a role. Our learners have been central to this work, helping to identify priorities from SHRN data, leading healthy eating assemblies, shaping our food pantry, and even developing resources such as the Healthy Lunchbox leaflet. This ensures that changes reflect real learner experiences and needs. At the same time, staff have modelled healthy routines and consistently embedded conversations about food and well-being into everyday teaching. Families have also contributed valuable insight, particularly through engagement with Breakfast Club and the Pantry, helping us better understand experiences beyond the classroom. Governors, alongside support from our Health Promoting Schools practitioner, have used SHRN data to guide informed decisions and meaningful action. The result is a more connected, fairer and health-promoting, community-focused school where everyone contributes to positive change. To understand our early outcomes, we've drawn on a wide range of evidence, including pupil voice, teacher observation, pantry feedback and whole school assemblies. Together, this gives us a balanced day-to-day picture of how our SHRN-informed work is developing. We are already seeing a positive impact. More learners are bringing fruit for snacks, showing a growing interest in healthy choices. Confidence is also increasing, with learners more willing to discuss healthy lifestyles and contribute in lessons and assemblies. Engagement in health and well-being has improved, with stronger links being made between food, energy, mood and learning. Beyond the classroom, use of the community pantry continues to rise, supporting families with affordable produce. Importantly, learners feel listened to and proud, knowing their voices have shaped a real change. This is a truly collective effort, learners, staff, families, governors and partners working together to build a more connected, fair and health-promoting school community. Moving forward, we are focusing on sustaining and strengthening this work. We will continue to prepare for future SHRN cycles so that we can track trends over time and refine our actions based on reliable data. Working closely with our Health Promoting Schools practitioner remains a key priority, allowing us to share learning across our cluster and feeder schools and ensure consistency in approach. We are also looking to build on our practical health initiatives. This includes expanding access to fruit and vegetables, embedding positive hydration habits across the school day, and strengthening our work around dental health. At the same time, SHRN will continue to support us in evaluating our whole school approach to emotional and mental well-being, ensuring that pupil voice, staff observations and wider feedback remain central to our planning. Overall, this ongoing cycle of evidence, reflection and action will help us to continue to meet the needs of our learners effectively. Here is a link to our case study, a SHRN-led journey to eating and well-being for learners and families, which is now available on the SHRN website, giving a more detailed explanation of how we use SHRN in Llwynarpia Primary School.
Thank you, Lisa, for your presentation, and to all of the learners for their contributions, so we could really hear
Thank you for taking
firsthand
the time to listen
about their experiences. It's lovely to hear about all of the outcomes there, and I love the healthy lunchbox leaflet design. And it's really a strong example to show how schools can draw on their SHRN data and broader pieces of evidence to support meaningful changes. And I'm sure many of our audience here will really recognise and commend your school's commitment to continuous improvement in health and wellbeing. So finally, I'm pleased to introduce our final speaker for today's webinar, Kim Wileman, Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools Lead for the Vale of Glamorgan. So as many of you know, SHRN works closely with the Welsh Network of Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools team across Wales, and we really value this strong collaborative partnership approach. Today, Kim will provide a brief overview of her role and how she supports schools to engage with SHRN alongside examples of how SHRN data is being used in practice to strengthen learner engagement and pupil voice.
Hi, my name is Kim Wileman and I'm the lead for the Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools team in the Vale of Glamorgan, working in the public health team at Cardiff and Vale University Health Board. We have a long-standing and valued partnership with SHRN and promote and support the use of the SHRN Pupil Survey and School Environment Questionnaires with Vale schools. There are many benefits for schools taking part in the SHRN survey. These include, but are not exhaustive to, the following: identifying priorities and action planning, recognising and celebrating strengths and successes, supporting school transition through primary and high school, helping to inform decision making, following a whole school approach, including pupil voice group and school council involvement, evidence-based policy development, informing the curriculum, learner health and wellbeing improvement, wider support, resources and networking, and also an opportunity to be involved in cluster working on health and wellbeing themes. As part of the Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools programme and team, we help our schools through the process of participating in SHRN. This includes signposting to the SHRN website, newsletters, webinars and updates, following schools' participation in the SHRN survey. We then also support schools to understand and use their school level data, bring together other relevant health and wellbeing information, and develop evidence-based informed action plans. We also help with monitoring and reviewing, and link schools with professionals who can provide support in specific health and wellbeing areas. To offer an example of how schools can benefit from SHRN, we can look at a recent project with Ysgol Gymraeg Dewisant Primary School, who we worked with following the last primary SHRN survey in 2024. Firstly, we linked in with the SHRN lead for the school to support with the initial analysis of the data. To ensure the learners were included in their own data analysis, a creative workshop was held for the school Health and Wellbeing Committee. This workshop was largely led by the learners themselves, made up of years 3 to 6. Within the workshop, learners were able to take time to look at their SHRN school level report and, using pictures, words and numbers, created posters with their ideas, highlighting main areas to celebrate as well as areas to prioritise for change. The group identified that sleep was an area of concern for their school. The learners used the quantitative SHRN data and discussed how they sometimes experience problems sleeping and going to bed at a certain time. Teachers within the group also expressed how sleep can impact learner concentration, mood and activity levels throughout the day. The Health and Wellbeing Committee then decided to create a poster with their ideas of how sleep can be supported, simple tips and ideas which they were keen to share with the whole school community. As a team, we supported these fantastic ideas by creating a bilingual infographic, which the school and Health and Wellbeing Committee could take ownership of and share with others to encourage sleep hygiene. The project became the catalyst for further work within the school, ensuring a whole school approach. The Health and Wellbeing Committee have presented the SHRN data and their ideas to the school governors and have supported a Health and Wellbeing Day with a focus on sleep. Plans are in place to have greater information about sleep embedded within the curriculum. This example demonstrates how SHRN data can act as a valuable starting point for meaningful, learner-led data analysis and engagement, supporting schools to move from insight to action while placing pupil voice at the centre of wellbeing improvement. Recently, our team worked in collaboration with the Vale of Glamorgan Council, hosting 3 Vale cluster workshops for primary schools. It was an opportunity for schools already participating in SHRN to attend, but also those who had not yet started their SHRN journey. These workshops also welcome the cluster secondaries to ensure the sharing of data across the schools and to encourage cluster working. Schools benefited from hearing examples about how schools have used their school level data, helping to inspire further work as well as making links to collaborate with other cluster schools on priorities. The workshops also posed an ideal opportunity for schools to look at transition data across both primary and secondary schools. This supports secondaries to see, for example, what their Year 6 learners are most worried about when going to secondary school, and for primaries to gain insight into Year 7 data. We have found that the cluster workshops have offered many opportunities. To further support primary schools who have taken part in SHRN, we worked in partnership with the Vale of Glamorgan Council to offer a small grant in which the schools could apply for to further action one of their identified school priorities from their SHRN data. We are looking forward to hearing how these grants have benefited Vale schools. The following quote is from Mark Davis, Operational Manager, Partnership and Community Working in the Vale of Glamorgan Council. This quote summarises the value of SHRN to both schools and the local authorities and national partners. Please take a moment to read this. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. I would encourage schools to reach out to your Health and Wellbeing Promoting Schools team in your area and find out more about how they support you and your school to make the most of being involved in SHRN. Jock and Val, thank you.